right. I am going live. Got to make sure everything sounds okay for everybody. So, all right. That's good. Going live. Got to make sure everything sounds okay for everybody. I need to mute my computer. All right, that's working. Things seem to be working. What do we got? Hey, got some folks showing up. Northern California in the house. What's up, Danny? And greetings from Tucson. Hey, Robbie, thanks. Sounds good. Thanks, Lester. Hey, Shelby. All right, folks. Well, here I am from another hotel room, this time in beautiful Bakersfield, California. Managed to set everything up, and it seems to be working. So I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm back here with my hotel room guitar, which is it's a Gibson Les Paul Standard 50s that I had repainted black by Anthony Marcatelli in New Jersey with Pariah pickups, and the tones you're hearing are courtesy of Scuffum Amps S-Gear, which is an amazing plugin that's recently seen a bunch of popularity due to Dan Huff using it on his Vertex interview, where he was recreating a bunch of classic parts from the 80s using S-Gear. I've been using it probably, I don't know, close to 10 years now, I'm not sure, on a referral from my friend Jeff Mackerlane, and Mike Scuffum at Scuffum Amps has been improving this plugin over the years, and it still sounds great. That's what it sounds like. So cool. I'm started doing these live streams without much of an agenda of the things that I know I want to let everybody know about. Number one is that I launched my own educational site called angusclarkgtr.com, and if you go there, I've got this one course available now. It's called 30 Surefire Rock Licks, and they are rock licks of my own design that I think are very useful. And the whole idea is that by learning licks, you can pull great content that reinforces certain fundamentals out of it. And so by learning those licks, you'll be also learning a lot about scales, articulation, bending, playing in time and in tune, how to count. All those things will come out of learning those licks. I'm also going to be making more courses in the future, and I'd love to hear from folks about what they find most informative. Here on YouTube, I've posted a bunch of content that includes learning licks like great Eric Clapton licks, great Neil Schon licks, et cetera, because I know that that's very appealing to people. On the teaching site, there'll be just licks of my own. But as I said, the lessons are universal and fundamental, and I think everybody will get things out of it. But I note there's going to be some TSO folks tuning in here, TSO fans that are not necessarily guitar players, and that's totally cool. I love to talk about anything that folks are interested in regarding what I do with the TSO and elsewhere. And speaking of what I do elsewhere, most importantly, in February of next year, I will be debuting my new Dio tribute project featuring Andrew Freeman on vocals. Andrew from The Last in Line, which is the band formed by the original members of the Dio band, Vivian Campbell, Jimmy Bain, and Vinny Appice. And obviously, Vivian Campbell has a lot of Def Leppard commitments, and I called Andrew and asked him if he wanted to do some Dio era Sabbath and some Dio era Rainbow with me, and he was happy to oblige. So we've got 2 dates booked, February 19 and 20. The first one's in Annapolis, Maryland, and the second one is in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, at Mickey's Black Box in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. So that's my bits of news. Those are the things I have going on. Other than that, we've got some folks. We got folks saying it sounds good. We've got 30 people. That's awesome. Mama yes, Mama AYES, yes, Mama, missing us this year. Sorry to hear that. The shows have been going great. Danny's going to catch us on Friday night. Looking forward to seeing you there. Yeah, the TSO shows have been going great. We're super pumped with the crowds and the reaction. We changed the stage set quite a bit this year, and we brought the signing line back, so there's opportunity for us to say hi to everyone. Oh, interesting. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted by my screens here. There's RJ Ronquillo in the chat. RJ made it out to our show in Portland. RJ recently moved to Portland, so I reached out to him, and I'm so glad you came down. If you're not hip to RJ's channel, which he has a lot more followers than I have, but if you're not hip to what he does a lot of great gear demos, but the playing in all of his demos is really exceptional, so it's just wonderful to hear him play. And then he does live streams, has been doing them on Saturdays, I think, and that's something that I started watching probably during the pandemic. And it turns out that when I used to teach at National Guitar Workshop back in the early 90s, RJ was one of the students who took my Clapton class. And I'm still getting mileage out of those Clapton licks, and hopefully RJ is too. So it was really nice to see RJ, and I'm really glad you guys enjoyed the show. What have we got here? Alexander was just wrapping up a guitar jam. I hope your guitar jam went well. What do we got here? Vicky Paulson, hello from Minnesota. Hello to Minnesota. Dave Scruggs, listening as you drive to band practice. Awesome. And RJ says, everyone needs to see a TSO show, blew you away. All right, well, there you go. An unsolicited endorsement from the amazing RJ Ronquillo. Who could ask for more than that? And then Jay Frog is coming in San Antonio. Love playing San Antonio. That is just one of the best things about San Antonio is that show, I think, is one of the few shows that, or maybe the only show remaining, that we have promoted by a local promoter, and that promoter is Stone City Attractions. And the owner of Stone City Attractions has been promoting in San Antonio forever, and he's actually the guy who was promoting the Ozzy show where, you know, he had the incident with the Alamo, and he was responsible for picking Ozzy up from jail the morning after. So the number of stories I get from our San Antonio-based promoter is always fun and engaging. Hey, Kathy. Kathy's from Boston, plays guitar. He loves playing TSO songs. There you go. Yeah. Well, I love playing TSO songs. I don't know if I'll be playing any right now, but we're you know, it's always a pleasure to like brush up on everything that I'm responsible for in the show. Obviously, I split guitar duties with Al Petrelli, and you know, Al played pretty much all the guitar on the records. I played lead guitar on the song "The Mountain," and I've played rhythm guitar on a few other songs on the records. So there's a lot of that legendary stuff of the TSO that, you know, Al is taking kind of the lead stuff, and that's great because you know, whichever part I'm playing, I'm having fun because either, you know, I'm having fun nailing the leads, or I'm getting to listen to Al nail the leads. So, and it's just great to be a part of it. But I get to take the lead on Christmas Canon Rock. That solo was played by Tristan Avakian on the album. And hey Sharon from Michigan, how you doing? And you know, I have some other. And then this year, Al and I are doing like a harmony lead on Christmas Jam, based on the lead that Al has been playing live on that song for the last bunch of years. So we harmonized it, and we're playing it on a lift at the back of the arena, surrounded by drones flying around us. So it's kind of like Thin Lizzy meets TSO at that moment in the show, and we really dig it. And the thing I love about doing anything like that's based on Al's work is that he has a lot of really unique things in his playing, a lot of tricks that I think a lot of people could learn things from. And in that solo at the end of Christmas Jam, what are we doing that's kind of distinctly Al? He likes these pedal tone licks. And he's getting that kind of thing where it rolls over the bar line because it's like an uneven number of notes. So it kind of creates this syncopation as you play the repeated pattern over and over again. Let's see. All those kinds of things where you're playing like three pitches in a rhythmic grouping of 4 so that the accent keeps shifting. And I do a lot of that in that kind of 30 Surefire Rock Licks course that I created. So it's always fun to kind of get that. And what I'm playing here is the harmony part, which is why it sounds kind of funky, because it works in context with what Al's doing. So you have to come to the show to find out what it really sounds like. Do I have my favorite song this year is that finale, the Christmas Jam part. Kind of, it's like we play Wish List, and then it segues directly into Christmas Jam. And we get into that. Al takes the first chorus, and then the second chorus is, well, there's the melody, then Al takes solo, and then he starts this thing where I can't even do it. It's one of these things Al's awesome at, where he's like, let's see. I guess I can do it. Anyway, he starts doing that thing, and I join him halfway through, and then we're kind of in harmony going, that kind of thing. But I'm just playing it. I'm like going. That kind of thing. And there again, you've got a rhythm that doesn't line up to the downbeats. So you get that kind of shifting feel against the time, which is part of what's really cool about playing with Blas and Johnny, is that they lay down the pocket so thick that as we do that kind of over the bar line syncopation, the band is still completely locked in and grooving. So that's my favorite part. That's my favorite part, I think. Sharon is going to see the East Band in Toledo. Have a great time. Say hi to Joel and Chris for me. What's up, Teresa? In St. Louis, coming on the 23rd. Which means, well, pretty much all the musicians in the live band have played on the records. That's part of the, what I think we've always striven for, is that, everyone that's on the stage is represented on the album at some point. So yeah, everyone's played on the record, but the bulk of the first record, to my knowledge, because I wasn't even a part of it when they made the first 2 records, right, was Al. But then I'm on the 3rd Christmas record, Night Castle, and the Dreams of Fireflies single. I believe I played something on, and I played on Carmina Burana, which we're playing live this year, which is, and there's Jeff Mackerlane. Hey, Jeff Mackerlane. Yeah, I'm on my live stream using S-Gear and my Les Paul with Pariah pickups in it. And what's this? Alexander. The toggle switch working right, unless I'm playing War Machine from Kiss. Yeah, the toggle switch trick on the Les Paul is you turn the the volume knob on the neck pickup off and the volume knob on the bridge pickup on. And what that part in Christmas Jam is and then that's pretty much it. You just have to have a lot of gain, and you'll get there. How far out do I start rehearsing, practicing? I think I start shedding the parts a month before we actually get to rehearsal, and then rehearsal is 2 weeks in Omaha, and then we're on the road. So yeah, that's usually it. But the important thing is to practice standing up, because I wear my V at around a rock height, and so actually there's some parts that like I can't even play them sitting down. Like it would be risky for me to demonstrate here sitting down, because I'm just built to play them standing up while running around. What do we got here? Lester, 21st straight year seeing. Wow, awesome. I so appreciate that. Never disappointed. Musicianship is number one. Well, that's great to hear. Yeah, the band has been, let's see, me, Jane, and Al were all in the West Coast band in 2001. And we've done it every year except for 2020, of course. And then Johnny Lee was in before 2001, but he wasn't on the 2001 tour. Malcolm Gold was the bass player that year, and then Johnny came back 2002. And there were a couple years where he was in the East Coast band, but other than that, it's been so me, Al, Jane, and Johnny. And then we've got Mark Klett on keyboards now. He's the newest member. We've had Asha for like 15 years now, and she's amazing. So it's great. A typical day on tour. Well, show day, if it's a double show day, I don't know, bus call is at like 10:45, 11. We have hotel rooms that we can use. Some folks use them, some folks don't, because there's always showers at the venue and everything. So depending on when you like to get up, you've either been into the hotel and taken a shower and whatever, and then you're back on the bus, like sometime before noon, head over to the venue, get something to eat, sound checks around 1:30, show at 3, then show goes down, we eat dinner, second show, 7:30, 7:30, 8, I don't know, it's kind of all over. They're usually 7 or 7:30 at this point. And then show goes down, we change, we do the signing line, which is awesome. We get to say hi to folks, and then we get on the bus and we go to sleep on the bus and wake up in the next town. We do it all over again. That's pretty much it. So this is a day off. We just did like a 14-hour ride here from Portland here to Bakersfield. So kind of a half day off. And I was going to start doing these live streams on Tuesdays, but we have a show day tomorrow because, it's Thanksgiving week, so everything's kind of moved around. And what's up, Derek? You're welcome. It's my pleasure to be doing this. What else? That's nice talking about that Christmas Jam solo. What are the other cool licks in that? I mean, the melodic part we're playing is this. Al's playing. No, that's not what he's playing. I'm playing. I guess his part is. Right. Something like that. Anyway, we worked it out at rehearsal. Now I no longer know his part. I only know my part. And that's the key to a successful gig, is just focusing on what you're supposed to play. That Christmas Jam has been a lot of fun. And then, doing Carmina Burana, which I'm doing on I used to do it on a drop D guitar, but now I'm doing it on a standard guitar in D standard. And it's just like one riff the whole time. Like the whole song. So it's like a down picking workout. And we're also doing Beethoven, which is a big down picking workout. Triplets, down picking triplets. And, you know, all these things like are what require the most practice because it's like an endurance thing with your right hand to get that kind of down picking happening. What's up, Johnny? Yes, well, I'm glad you think it's cool. It's fun seeing us live. We love doing it. What do we do for Thanksgiving? We eat dinner and then fall asleep and wake up, play a show on Friday. I don't know. It's nice. I mean, like I said, I've been touring with the same people for almost 25 years. So it's a family. The bluesy licks between me and Al are the ad lib. I do one ad lib in the middle there. I can't remember what part it is. I think we do the. Sorry. Just like a rock lick. You know, I play any one of my 10 rock licks in there. You keep in mind, I'm playing this while I'm strapped to a Barbie pole on a platform 40 feet in the air with strobe lights shooting up into my face and smoke effects and drones rotating around my head. So I stick to something that I can pretty much nail every time because there's a lot going on. The Steve V is going to be here at the show in Bakersfield. Awesome, man. Yeah, it's our first time playing here. It's our first time playing Bakersfield, so it's very cool. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, the show is like it's down to a science right now. As I said on the last live stream, it's fun playing this material from the Beethoven's Last Night record. There's a whole sequence of songs from the Beethoven's Last Night record. And that's really awesome to bring to everybody. And Chloe Lowry does an amazing job. She's, as always, she's singing her feature from the remote stage, again, surrounded by drones and uplighting. So it's a very distracting setting to perform in. And she's separated from us by like a whole arena, but she's just nailing it every night. And I have a lot of fun with that. There was a Beethoven tour that ran during the summer months about 10 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Derek, afraid of heights? Yeah, man. But to be an arena rock player, you might have to deal with that kind of thing. So I don't know if we got any other questions. What's this? Joe, Julie Tucci. Appreciate all the effort we put in the show. Your daughter can't wait to see. Oh yeah, Target Center, Minnesota. Love playing the Minnesota gigs. That's just great. Target Center particularly. So I think isn't there like right down by the First Avenue Club? Hey Tony, yeah, this is a Gibson Les Paul Standard 50s that I just had painted black. It's got Pariah pickups in it. Toledo. Oh, yeah, you'll see the East Coast guys. Say hi to Joel and Chris for me. The Paul Watson experience says favorite part is the TSOs. Everyone's happy and smiling, true professionals, and very uplifting. Yeah, it's all about spreading joy. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Andrew Ross is playing guitar a lot this year. And yeah, Tony, and go caroling on Christmas morning. I don't know. I will be. Thankfully, my family are coming to Chicago, so I'll be with my family on and as will family of some of the singers, I'm sure, as well. Do I use Fractal Audio in the live show? Yes, I use a Fractal Audio Axe-FX 3 Mark II, I believe, and this is the first year where we're taking all the preset changes are done by my tech in the bunker, but this is the first year we're actually getting, we're having the preset changes done via show control, which is the computer that runs the click tracks for us. And you know, we don't use any playback tracks. But we do have a click track in order to keep us in sync with the lights. And it also keeps us in sync, like, as I was saying, like while me and Al are on a remote stage, or Chloe's on a remote stage and we're on the main stage, we all have to stay in sync. So we have a click track. So there's a computer that runs that, and that's sending information to a computer that's changing my presets, which is really pretty cool when it works. It's really interesting when it doesn't work, but it's cool when it works. I don't know how many CO2 tanks are used, but it's definitely a good question. D-Man 4025 says Anna Phoebe was amazing. Yeah, I'm still in touch with Anna. She is amazing, and I think I was, you know, in typical vain mode, looking up footage of us from the Colorado Springs show, and someone just within the last year had uploaded our 2005 Colorado Springs show, which was me and Anna on the remote stage, which was like the size of a postage stamp and rickety compared to what we use now. And instead of wearing kind of the well-fitted black jeans that we wear now, I was wearing the tuxes that they used to get for us, which were just kind of typical tuxedo pants, very baggy in the legs. Just it was, and my hair was really short and very dark brown. So it was fun to watch. And I was playing a Jackson Rhodes. I remember I had an RR5, a Japanese made Jackson RR5, and then a custom shop RR1. But on that tour, I had the RR5, I believe. And then we were doing the exact same transition we were doing this year. We were doing Wish List, like that whole thing. We were doing that into Sarajevo 1224, and the problem there is that, like, I do the Wish List thing on a guitar that's tuned down a whole step. So I was playing that Red Jackson tuned down a whole step. Straight into Sarajevo, which is then on a standard guitar. And so, like, I actually had a guy send a guy out to the remote stage, and I took the Rhodes off. I took the red Rhodes off that was in D, and he gave me the white one back, and I put that on, played the rest of the show. Extravagant. Now we just use like a pitch shifter in the fractal in order to get that same effect. If that's too technical for anybody, sorry. Reach out to me, Angus@angusclark.com, and I'll explain it to you. 2005 was your first show in Sacramento. Wow, thank you for coming to all those shows. That's great. Let's see. Tony asked if I have classical music background. Yeah, I my first musical training and experience, I was a chorister at the Cathedral St. John the Divine on the Upper West Side of New York City. And my mom's a classical singer, and my dad had a background in classical music. He played the cello, but he was a lawyer professionally. And so all of my earliest lessons, I took piano. I took cello from a proper teacher. Then I think I took some Suzuki violin, which is proper, I guess, and then and some Suzuki piano, which are group classes. And then I wanted to play the guitar, and my parents, being with the world that they were from, got me a classical guitar teacher. So there I was with a nylon string guitar, learning from one of like the Aaron Schaefer books or something like that. And I was like, this is not gonna, I was really into the monkeys, I think, at that point. It's like third or fourth grade, super into the monkeys. And I was like, this guy's not going to show me any monkeys tunes. Like, he's just showing me classical stuff. So the guitar went in the closet. And then in eighth grade, when The Wall came out, I was like, we need to get the guitar out. We went down to American Institute of Guitar in New York. And then that guy was using the Mel Bay books. So I went through the entirety of the Mel Bay Modern Method for Guitar, grades 1 through 7. And then, I don't know, at some point, a couple months in, he was like, you should get an electric guitar. You know, and I went right to my folks. My guitar teacher said that I need an electric guitar. So that's when I got my Aria Pro 2. So I learned, but I learned it by reading. The Mel Bay stuff is all reading. And then that teacher not only, got me to, said I need an electric guitar, but then he also taught me classical, which is all like the Carcassi etudes, the Fernando Sor etudes, like all that stuff. He even teamed me up with a flamenco teacher for a while, so I got a bunch of that training, which has lapsed, to be honest. But I do have a Godin nylon string that I've been working out on lately, and I really enjoy it. So I'm thinking about maybe getting some more lessons. Love the Mel Bay books. Yeah. Oh, you're coming to the Golden Wind Center. What's up, Tim? That's awesome. Let's see. What's up, Biff? Oh, you got a high five. All right, your girlfriend. I got a high five. Christmas Dreams is awesome. Yeah, that's fun. Andrew Ross and I play a harmony solo on Christmas Dreams. Andrew Ross and I were both in a band called Daredevil Squadron. We had 2 albums on iTunes. You should look them up. It was a lot of fun doing that. Yeah, we got some people, first time seeing us in 2006. Yeah, I mean, so appreciate everybody that's come back to see the TSO all those years. What bands influenced? So I know Jeff McErlane checked in. Jeff and I have done a couple of live streams or videos where we talk about the albums that made us. For me, there's Sabbath, Pink Floyd, Ozzy. The first Ozzy record was super influential for me, and in terms of like when everybody had to develop their chops. But really, like just learning like Tomorrow's Dream by Sabbath, that solo. All those Tony Iommi licks, like that's still part of how I play. And right now I'm working on this Dio tribute, so I had to learn like more of his Dio era solos. Like the Mob Rules album was a really big one for me. So some of that is like that thing where Tony Iommi just gets into a big flow state of pentatonic trills and madness and stuff like that, and it just kind of like keeps going, and then he comes out with really iconic statements. And like that, just that thing, like just that one is like so super tasty. And the way he goes to the 9th is like super, that's a super Iommi thing, because he also bends to the 9th all the time, right? He hits it here, like if he's in D, he would hit it here. But he would also bend to it, like if he's in E, he's always bending to the 9th. Instead of just pentatonic. Like you're bending to the sharp 9 or the flat 3. Typical. Iommi, the 9th. So that really that is a big part of it. And then Gilmore is a big part of it, just the comfortably numb thing where he's playing the arpeggios. I think that's the first kind of playing that really helped me get inside the chords. That comfortably numb solo where he's like... I just, you know, that is one of those moments where you're just kind of like, oh my God, yeah. You know, you've got just these simple chords, but if you just play elegantly to the chord tones, you can really kind of get an emotional response from people. So, and then Hendrix was a big guy for me because he's such a physical performer. And I think that that's just an important thing about, you know, rock is like being a physical performer, which my knees can attest to it being important and hard on the body. What's up, Sean Christopher from Pariah Pickups? What's up, man? Yeah, dude. These are Pariah Pickups in this guitar, people. Sean was very patient with me working on this to get this. HUD 8931 says, being an old guy, Sabbath, Zepp, and Jimmy were primary inspiration. Yeah, totally. My Zeppelin experience is much spottier. You know, like everybody had Led Zeppelin 4 when I was growing up, and then I went to my corner store and all I had was Zeppelin 1, which is probably one of the best records to be raised on. But I remember hearing it and I was like, this is not the same singer. Because if you know, his voice had changed so much by the time they made Volume 4. It was so much thinner, and then when you hear him on the first record, there's so much body to his voice. I was just like, that's not the same guy. Dan, who is my favorite Dio guitar player for the band Dio? I mean, it's Vivian Campbell. I mean, we're not, right? What are you gonna do? You know, I think that there's some excellent stuff on the Lock Up the Wolves record, and there's some excellent stuff on, I think it's what's the record that I'm having a senior moment. What's the record that Doug Aldrich played on? That has some great playing, but man, just Vivian, you know. Because he was there for me when I was 13, you know? Like, that's it. And I met him twice, and he's just a totally awesome, great guy to meet. Travis, my wife thinks I look like Chris Jericho. Okay. I know a couple of the guys in Fozzy. That's a great band. Oh, Jeff McErlane says I should remind everybody to hit the like button. So please do that if you would. Please hit the like button and please subscribe to this channel. Am I still talking about what bands influenced me? Well, so we've got it. It's Pink Floyd and Black Sabbath and then Ozzy. So that's why I'm doing a Dio tribute. Because, you know, I would love to just play Sabbath, but like Dio, Rainbow, Blackmore, and then in Rainbow era, Blackmore, I'm a huge fan of that. Sabbath era, Tony Iommi, I'm a huge fan of Tony Iommi, and Vivian Campbell. It's really, we're just doing the 10 years, 75 to 85. And I have replica guitars. This is the Vivian Campbell replica guitar. I have a white Strat with a big headstock for the Blackmore stuff. And then I've got a couple options on the Iommi thing, but I actually have an SG Junior that's all done up like the Old Boy with the actual JD pickups in it, if you know what those are. So I'm very excited to get that going. What's this? Oh, I need apparently I don't know how to kick somebody out of my chat, but apparently I need a way to kick somebody out of my chat. So I apologize to everyone that I'm not prepared for that. I'll get a moderator for next time. What are me and Al laughing at all the time? I'm not sure I'm not sure which part you mean we're laughing about, but we have a lot of fun on stage. So Ronnie Horn says the tips I gave you last time really helped. That's great. Oh, Jay Frog. Well, it always makes me happy to play Gilmore as well. Missed this year. Oh, I'm sorry you got to miss the show this year. Thanks, Tim. We'll see you soon. See you on Friday. Okay. There we go. We'll see if that worked. There we go. Boom. Thank you for the tip. Greg, yeah, Randy Rhoads was super big influence for me. Eddie Van Halen, not so much. It was funny. I got asked to do like Eruption for something for Rob Evan, and I was like, man, either you learned how to play that when you were 15, or you didn't, and I didn't. So I begged off, but I did an epic solo on the ride out of Comfortably Numb. So I earned my stripes that way. Ronnie's asking after Maggie. If you folks haven't seen some of my content I do when I'm home, I enlisted my dog Maggie to listen to me practice Dio, and I sit there and I play Dio licks for her, and then I talk about the importance of Ronnie James Dio in my life to her. And the joke is that it's kind of like how it is to talk to anybody when I'm nerding out about how awesome Ronnie James Dio is. It's pretty much the reaction I get from most people. But hopefully things will go better when Dio Rules, my Dio tribute, plays in Maryland and Pennsylvania in February of next year. And yeah, old Davey, that was me. I figured out how to moderate my channel. So hopefully it'll be cool. Yeah, Maggie is hilarious. So yeah, I'll just sit there and play Vivian Campbell licks. Favorite TSO lick? Well, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, there are some really neat things that Al does. And so the coolest TSO licks, I think, are the ones that are emblematic of like his interesting choices. So one of those, like the fast lick at the end of 1224, is indicative of what I'm talking about. And what it is essentially is that in guitar, when we learn, people learn in positions. You can learn scale shapes in positions. That's how most people learn at first. And in some circles, this is called the caged system. I don't refer to it as that because who wants to live in a cage? I just call it playing by position. So if you're playing in position, like E minor would look like this. Sorry. Right? So and one of the strings you have two notes. Okay, so that's playing in position. The other way of kind of navigating, well, there's a lot of different ways, but an other way of navigating the guitar is to always play 3 notes per string. So E minor would then look either like this, right, or this. So you're playing 3 notes on every string, and it forces you to move positions. See right here, I've moved from the 12th position to the 14th position. So one of the things that Al does is he plays 3 notes per string in position. And what that causes is a double denote. See, so if I was doing 3 notes per string, I would have shifted. Right? Or I would be here. But no, what we're doing is we're staying in position and we're playing 3 notes per string. So you get a B twice. And that's the run at the end of 1224 is, sorry. And what is so cool about that is that is actually really hard for keyboard players to do, to double one note in the middle of a descending phrase. Like, that's, you know, I mean, what do they get? Either double with one finger or play the same note with 2 fingers before continuing downwards. So it's something that like a guitar player can do to just totally mess with a keyboard player. So it's like some of that's once I figured that out, you know, after talking to Al about what's that run again? How are you doing that? And there's an instance of that in Tracers. I think there's a big run that's like that kind of a thing. You know, it does it again. And I used that technique when I had to do the Chris Oliva solo 2 years ago. I did something similar, like that kind of a thing, like just using 3 notes per string, but staying in a specific in one position, as opposed to always shifting down. And it just gives you some different options more comments about Maggie. I've caught any other rock artists that have caught my attention this year. Well, I think that I want to make sure my stream is all connected. I love Rival Sons. You know, they've been around for a while now. What else we got? Bron, we're not going to say mean things about keyboard players. It's just, I just thought it was funny. Yeah, it's a lick that only makes sense on the guitar. It doesn't make as much sense on a keyboard. So, and yeah, but there's a lot of fun stuff. I mean, there's those things in Mad Russians. That kind of thing. And you know, I mean, there's some things I don't play like the way Al would play them. I think like the Flight of the Bumblebee on the record is played right, but I play it because when you do it that way, it's all outside picking. Stuff. So, you know, some of these things, like when you take a gig like this, there's nailing it, and then there's authenticity. It's like the same thing I do when I teach. And someone just said something very nice about the teaching style. Thank you, Greg Grimm. I hope you dig. Yes, the TrueFire class. If you want to check out my lessons on TrueFire, please do. That's awesome. I also have lessons now available through AngusClarkGTR.com, which I really encourage people to check out. But the thing I was saying is that when you're called in to play a gig where the template for what you're doing is done by another player, you're going to have to lean into your strengths in certain cases where the player that set the template has other strengths. So if there's something going on there that I need to cover but is totally idiosyncratic to Al's style of playing, I either need to take the deep dive and just totally get that, 100% nailed, or I have to come up with my facsimile of it in a way that is easier for me to nail consistently night after night. Because, like Al and I have very similar background in some ways, but very different in others. So that, he's got some monster chops in very specific areas that were not, kind of my area of focus. So it's interesting. Like, because I subbed also for Joel Hoekstra on the Share gig, and he had created this guitar feature that featured a lot of tapping, including like some of this two-handed tapping, and I don't do that, so I had to figure out kind of a stretched finger pentatonic way of doing it. Kind of so that it had a legato pentatonic vibe and could move very quickly, but it was done without tapping, and that was totally successful in that case. There was no need to get it done exactly the way that Joel was doing it, and Joel was explicit about that. He's like, you don't have to do it this way. That's just what I'm doing. So that was very effective. With a lot of the TSO stuff, I mean, I've been doing it so long, it's just kind of it behooves me to be nailing it in the way that it should be played. I don't play the Christmas Canon Rock Soul exactly the way Tristan played it on the record. Again, that was a big tapping thing, and I'm not as much of a tapper. So, but I think the version I'm doing suits I got 95% of it the way it is exactly on the record, and the other 5% just kind of. Lester's starting to lose some of the audio. I'm sorry about that. What kind of things do I still work on? Just fundamentals. I like to make sure that my rhythm playing is totally rocking, and just staying in tune and in time. That's mostly what I work on. Try to keep my fundamentals together. So, but look, I think we're getting close to an hour here, and I feel like I've answered a good amount of questions. I'm going to end up here kind of where I started, which is to say that thank you all for coming to the TSO shows, and if you're still thinking about it, there's still tickets, so you should definitely come. And if anyone's interested in how I'm getting this awesome guitar sound, it's Scuffum Amps S-Gear, and you should definitely check that out. And this is Gibson guitar with Pariah pickups in it, and you should check those out as well. And what else? In February of next year, I'll be debuting my new Dio tribute project called Dio Rules. We're playing 2 gigs, one at Ram's Head in Annapolis, Maryland, and the second one at Mickey's Black Box in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. And that band features Andrew Freeman from Last in Line on vocals. So that's the big news. If you're into playing guitar, please go to AngusClarkGTR.com and check out my 30 Surefire Rock Licks course. I'm really proud of it, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. It's been getting some good reviews from folks that have done it. And thank you, Joe Tucci says, Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much. Any other questions before I sign off? Ask them now. Here I am. I'll try and do this again on either a Monday or Tuesday over the next couple of weeks. And if it winds up being something people are getting a lot out of, I can keep doing it, and because I'm happy to. Also, just come back to this channel, my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe, and I should be posting some more lick lessons and maybe some gear stuff over the course of the next couple weeks. Be running down the gear from this year's tour and that kind of thing. I've had some good response over my Axe Effects preset video, and Ronnie, of course, we make mistakes. You got to know. Just watch a YouTube. You'll hear me make a mistake. They're always. I try and keep them minimal, but it happens. And what else? I don't know. I think that's it. You know, I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. And we're playing here in Bakersfield tomorrow, and then we've got Wednesday and Thursday off, and then we're back at it, and we will be rocking straight through until New Year's. And thank you, Travis. Thank you, Ronnie. Yeah, thank you everyone for checking it out. I super appreciate it. And take care. Don't hesitate to reach out, leave a comment after this posts, and I will see you all soon. All right. Take care and be well.